I think we good. Y'all already know what's good, y'all. What's good, y'all. What's good, y'all. What's great. Thank y'all for tuning in to another episode of Can the Brothers Get a Rap podcast. I'm your host, Ashley Lovechild. I'm waiting for my co-host, my brother from another mother. Blood couldn't make us any closer. My bro Santana, he will be joining us soon. Uh, but also, I want to give a quick shout out to everybody that's tuning in. Big love each and every Thursday, every Sunday. It means the world to us to continue to rock. We on the road to 20,000 subscribers. We're a little over 11,000 subs. So continue to like, subscribe, and share. And share. Don't be scared to share. Leave comments in the comment section. And again, have over 450 rewatch videos of this podcast on this channel. So again, I want to thank y'all for tapping and tuning in each and every Thursday and every Sunday. Also, big love to our presenting sponsor, Button Snaps, where you get the finest of movies, shows, and documentary and original content for your viewing pleasure of $4.99. Again, that's Button Snaps. Button hyphenated sign snaps.com. That's button hyphenated sign snaps.com. Also, I want to thank y'all for continuing to support in my new EP. It's in all music platforms on all music platforms right now. Ashley Lovechild. Just type in Ashley Lovechild any and everywhere, and type in Winners Loyalty. Fire new EP, 6 songs. So make sure y'all tap into it and check them out and continue to support as well. It's amazing going on to all the music platforms and seeing the overpour of the support. So continue to support. I appreciate it immensely for growing with me and to continue rocking with me, y'all. Again, like I said, we're waiting on my bro Santana. He's taking care of something right now, but he'll be in shortly within the show. So shout out to my bro Santana. Also, uh, before I forget, um, my bad, y'all. I was looking at the latest scores to the NBA Finals and seeing what was going on there. Last time I checked, OKC was blowing Indiana Pacers out. So matter of fact, quick shout out to some of the people in our chat, bros. Bros with us, y'all. Was goody, bro? Was goody? Uh, it's something else.
Guys, internet was acting up. I had to like restart the modem and just a whole bunch of stuff. So I apologize, but we here now. You know what I'm saying? Let's get to it. What's the word? What's the verdict?
So you see how fresh my boy is. You see that he got the prop.
My serious. Nah. Chill. Was good though. You got nigga got the studio lights on and shit. You know what I'm saying? I see you shining. Even a blind nigga can see you shining. You know what I'm saying?
Man, we just out here.
You know what I'm saying? He gonna follow in your footsteps. You know what I'm saying? He gonna bring home the groceries. You feel me?
You know what I'm saying?
That's money. You don't never bring your mom's no money.
And shout out to my brother for tapping in. We made that you would be tapping. That's my brother Santana. For those, if it's your first time tapping in, a quick shout out to some of our day ones and badge holders. I see Winter in the building, Coach in the building, King in the building, Ebony in the building. Appreciate y'all tapping in as always. Oh man, so let's get to it. Popular opinion, y'all. Remember, this is our first segment of the night. These questions, these are the questions. So stick to the answers in the questions. This segment is brought to you by OUV Records. When you go on Instagram at OUV Records right now, the label model is create, document, and inspire. Make sure you stay in tune to the music and merchandise. All right, our first question of saddest movie scene list. Saddest on this list. Number one, Ricky, Boys in the Hood. Number two, Trey, Menace to Society. Number three, Cleo, Off. Number four, G Baby, Hardball. Let me know what y'all think in the chat.
Hardball. That was just it just was unexpected. You know what I'm saying? Like you ain't like damn G baby. Like come on, son. Like he can't make it out the hood. Damn. So yeah, for me that just hit the hardest for that scene in the movie. If y'all never seen it, Hardball, Keanu Reeves. I'm gonna go with that one.
Can't make it out the hood. You know what I'm saying? G Baby would have been perfect for streaming. You know what I'm saying?
Like damn. See what I'm saying? Niggas shooting the baseball fields. Damn. You guess no love, no glove, no love. You know what
And
I'm saying?
and he was staying out the way. He was staying out the way. It wasn't like he was activated.
Niggas up in the dugout. You know what I'm saying? Come on, son. Like you can't if G baby can't make it out, who gonna make it out?
He was just happy getting his jersey. He seen his jersey with his name on the back, like, oh, well, that's for me. Like, so it again, it was just a sad scene. That
Barely made it out, right? Leon Washington, he 2 classes away from going back to his grandmother's crib. You know what I'm saying? So, and then G Baby, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, for me, the hardest one is G Baby. I'm gonna go with Hardball.
almost blew all his chances because he want to throw chairs at dudes in the locker room. You know what I'm saying? Don't take
Like starter jackets and starter hoodies and you know what I'm saying? All types of shorts and all that. You know what I'm saying?
away from flick your wrist, dog. Just flick your wrist, and you gonna be alright. You know what I'm saying? And stay away from Birdie too. That might help. But nah, you know what I'm saying? Made things harder. Almost claimed.
Our spot. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right, right. So I mean, at the end of the day, I'm going with G Baby. I mean, Cleo death was. I don't want to say it was sad, but it was like, yo, you drawn on like 50 top cops. Like, what you expect?
Man, y'all playing with guns. G Baby playing with you know what I'm saying, gloves and bats. And you know what I'm saying?
I'm not. I'm like Trey. It was sad because he was protecting Youngin outside, and what made the scene really sad that his homeboy Tracy was holding him in his arms, was like, fight, just fight. You know what I'm saying? He wanted him to fight for his life. You know what I'm saying?
Tracy out, you know what I'm saying? So they cousins want to get some get back. So you know what I'm saying? So G Baby for me, you know what I'm saying? It just he playing baseball, kid. Like, you know what I'm saying? He was playing baseball.
But my man was walking down the street with the scratch off, eating ho hos and ding dong. Got bloods actively on you.
Where's your awareness? Where was your antennas at when Blood in them was looking for you? You know what I'm saying?
I mean, he had Barry Sanders' speed and quickness, super top tier agility, but again,
His ability was not there because it should have been a 1, 2, 3 step straight to the fence, over fence, gone. You know what I'm saying? Straight down the alleyway, no bueno. You know what I'm saying? Right, left. That's your options.
for real, for that reason alone, as great as Ricky Baker was as an athlete, is the reason why he can't be my number one athlete of all time. Because if you could go through like the cracks of the house and tightrope the little sidewall to get away from the bloods, but you're gonna go back to eating whole holes, scratching on scratch-offs, but a whole bloods is actively on you. Like you can never be the top tier athlete in any movie. But that's neither here or there. All right, so we went through all that, right? 30, I said G baby, you said G baby, the chat said G baby, right? Which is very rare. The rest of the world at 37% went with Ricky, Boys in the Hood. What do you think about both lives was claimed way too soon? You know what I'm saying? All right, moving on to our next hot topic. No, I'm bugging. Next popular opinion question. Next popular opinion question. Favorite singer on this list. Favorite singer on this list. Number one, Jazz Sullivan. Number two, Jill Scott. Number three, Monica. Number four, Brandy. Let me know what y'all think in the chat. This is tough though.
Brandy, because that Full Moon album was just it just touched me right here. Chat. It touched me right here. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going with Brandy. I'm talking about the whole album, not one song, the whole Full Moon album. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It just touched me in a piece of my soul, Paul. Brandy did that for me. So I'm going with Brandy.
Damn, this is gonna be so mean to say, but even though my favorite singer is list, it's probably gonna be Monica on this list. Jasmine goes crazy, and Scott go top tier vocal. Brandy go crazy too, but musically, when we say favorite musically, I don't think any of those. Jasmine Sullivan got great albums. Jill Scott got great albums. Monica got great albums. I, they have better albums. I like put it like this: Brandy has probably like 2 or 3 albums that's better than any album they've ever put out. Full Moon, the very first one she put out, I forget the name of that one. I think it was called Brandy, entitled Brandy. And then she had another joint Kanye West had did the production on, and I believe that could have been like, uh, oh my god, I can't think of the name, the wrong thing. That particular album, and she had a feature with him on that album as well too. I like, and mind you, Monica, I've been bumping Monica lately. That like this, like that, go heavy. It go hard. Pause. You know what I'm saying? That album go crazy. But I think I'm going with Brandy as well. My bro went Brandy, and the chat with Brandy again. That's a very rare. That's very rare. The rest of the world at 47% went with Brandy as well. What do you think about that?
Feeling it, you know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? So we all on point tonight. Chat, we on point, you heard?
We really up on business. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next popular opinion question. You can only bring back one. You can only bring back one. Number one, two bedroom apartments for $500. Number two, 4.99 buffets. Number number three, 1K for used cars. Number four, $1 gas. For those of y'all who would bring back one. Number one, 2-bedroom apartments for $500. 2, 499 buffet. 3, used cars, $1,000. And 4, $1 $1 gas.
Room apartment deal. You know what I'm saying? Like that's I need that. You know what I'm saying? 2 bedroom, 2 bath, 500. Give me that. You know what I'm saying? With the pay that we have now, yeah, that'll be lit. Cause remember when that 2 bedroom, 2 bath was 500, niggas was getting paid like 525 an hour. So that 500 seemed like it was lit back in the day, but it was hurting you if you was making 7.
Yeah.
And so even though we look at go and we judge based on the past and with the lens of the present, doesn't mean it was popping. You know what I'm saying? Because if we look at it, it's like niggas they were still playing the jugging game. You know what I'm saying? Every week you still, you know what I'm saying? Biden, the only thing that made it good because we had dollar gas and other essentials was cheaper. So it made it all right. But if we have the 2 bedroom, 2 bath, 500 with niggas getting paid 20, 25, 30 an hour, like, yo, you could come up real fast. You know what I'm saying? Give you that 2 years, like they said with the vouchers, the Section 8, give somebody 2 years, you come up. If your rent $200 a month, you come up in 2 years. Come on. If you're already making high value money already at your job, your rent 200, you easily come up. So I'm going with the $500 2 bedroom, 2 bath.
If you want to really get some super fly stuff, you can, but it will be cheaper, right? But I'm gonna agree with you, bro. I'm going with the 2 bedroom for 500. I think $5 buffets. I never really was a buffet myself, so I'm straight on that. You know what I'm saying? But it's all that buffet for no reason. So, but it's cool that you could get you a bite to eat. $5, get all you can eat. The $1 used cars. I'm only driving one car at a time, so I mean I'm cool on the $1,000 used cars. Dollar for gas though almost had me in the chokehold on it. It almost had me. You know what I'm saying? But I agree with you. In the chat they went with 2, so they trying to. You know what I'm saying, brothers? You know what I'm saying? Trying to get the buffet. Ain't nothing wrong with that. No shame. You know what I'm saying?
I remember Ponderosa buffet. Remember Ponderosa back in the day? That was shit. It was in Green Acres Mall. I mean, it was by Green Acres. You know what I'm saying? Ponderosa. That was a little hub buffet joint. It was poppy seed because they was the only niggas that had the ice cream machine right there for you. You know what I'm saying? So you just get your cone, your bowl, your Tupperware, whatever, and get you a whole dab of cream. You know what I'm saying? Yo, it was a plethora of people at the line for the ice cream machine, kid. I grew up, every ice cream machine you went to always worked. You know what I'm saying? I don't know about this day and age where the ice cream machine don't work. When we grew up, the shit worked. And you just went there, mixed it, wrinkles, and went about your day. It was peaches and cream. You know what I'm saying? It was different. I ain't going to buffet today, but back then, yeah. I remember I remember Ponderosa. That's why I had to bring it back.
get their on. You know what I'm saying? Again, ain't no shame in the game. But 42% the rest of the world went number one. Two bedrooms for $500. What do you think?
500. I'm probably adding the two bath part, but it just makes sense. The two bedroom, two bath for 500. Yeah, give me that. And that's a no brainer. You working Uber, you baking pies. You gonna make that 500 easy. You know what I'm saying? If you can't make 500, I don't know what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? Anybody can make 500. You gonna get a whole bunch of hustlers. I mean, doing legit hustling, but everybody's clicking, everybody making money, everybody could be happy. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, bring that $500 month and bring back that first month rent free. Remember what happened to the first month rent free moving? What happened to that? All the money y'all get from application fees, like you can only move one nigga in, but you are accepting 20 applications at $75 a pop. Nobody bring that up though. Where that money go? All right, cool, fine, but you bring back the 500, yo. I'm gonna give you 3 months rent right now. What's up? Nah, they dress. See, you dress nice, nice.
What type of name is that? I don't know. That's just my name. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next segment, our Hollywood Need to Ask Us. We came up with the segment because Hollywood just give us no type of imagination with the movies, no type of intrigue. It's not compelling. It's not original. We don't have a lineage to the storylines or even lineage to the storyline. So we came up with the segment. We have better ideas for movies, movie series. You want to start this one?
Shout out to John Carpenter for this one. I think we need a remake of the classic Escape from New York. Son. I think with so much sauce, we done have so much shit since the original one came out to now, where you could remake it into a modern version, a modern telling, and just use, you know what I'm saying? Like just what's going on today. I feel as though like Escape from New York was a fire movie. The character Snake Plissken was, you know what I'm saying, just a lit dude. You know what I'm saying? Like we just need Snake Plissken back, just doing brazen activity in you gotta think of it like this. Think about all the New York Knicks fans, right? But we just run the whole city. No police, no rule of law, just a whole bunch of Knicks fans just running the whole Manhattan Island, right? And that's just the prison. Mind you, you got all the criminals, right? All the vagabonds, all the bums. And on top of that, you got New York fans. I think that movie would be so lit if you make it today, son. I need a remake of Escape from New York. Add the craziest New York fan as the top. You know what I'm saying? He the meanest goon. You gotta get through him before you can get to the top boss. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about the New York Knickerbocker Goon Squad. I need a remake of Escape from New York. I needed a Ryan Coogler style. You know what I'm saying? New York Nick, for you to even get into the gang. First of all, you gotta recite all the Nick law. You know what I'm saying? You gotta know all the Nick knowledge, right? Before you can get in there. Then you just gotta be on your brazen. You just gotta get out there and get crazy. So if y'all ever seen the original Escape from New York, you gotta see that if you didn't. But I want to see a remake of that with a New York, the way New York is now. I think it would be fire.
I kid you not. I watched Escape of New York yesterday, and I said the same today to homies early. I said they need to do a remake of Escape of New York because the premise alone was fire. The movie itself was kind of lazy, but the premise alone was super duper fire. like especially New York. LA was super. New York,
Like, come on, son.
the whole
Like,
surf.
killers don't surf. You know what I'm saying?
But he's surfing, catching
With
dude,
the
bro,
one eye. You know what I'm saying?
and catching dude on the 195, y'all, the I-95. How you
Son. You
escape from New York? Fire, great idea. In this day and age, if you do it right, get the right director, they will murder that movie. So I kid you not, I thought of that earlier today, and I was telling one of my other boys, like, yo, bro, they should do that. He was like, word, that joint was fire. So
off the top of the dome. I ain't even, you know what I'm saying? I write my stuff, but this one was like, it just, oh, Escape from New York. You know what I'm saying?
talking about the Knicks fans, and then you gotta remember, Escape of New York, you had all the Goonies outside, and you had like the real crazy dudes like coming from the sewers. They always ran by the one dude, that Isaac Hayes character that ran,
Scary cat.
and you don't mess with, man. They say you don't mess with the ball. So, like, great idea. Love that idea. Anybody you would want to play the lead outside of Kurt Russell, or do you feel like it should be surrounded by Kurt Russell or his son? Kurt Russell, or change the or reprise or change.
Moniker. Like, he could be anybody. So I think, like, who's a good young actor who could, what's that kid? Forgot what movie he played in. Can't remember his name, but I got a few. Like I said, it just came off the top of my dome. But far as the actor is concerned, I mean, as far as the director is concerned, I want to spice it up just a little bit, just to give it a little pizzazz. Why don't we get Ryan Coogler to direct, but you know what I mean, John Carpenter writing or just overseeing production or whatever, but directing is a Ryan Coogler or um which one called, what's his name? Um Jordan Peele. Cause you could also make it technically like a horror, you know what I'm saying? Because John Carpenter is a horror type dude. So you could make this horrific. Cause I'd be scared for y'all, because if I'm in New York and it's a prison, my New York Knicks, we running our block, it's just not gonna be safe for you to come down that block. You know what I'm saying? So you might as well just not do it. So that's why I feel like, yeah, it would be fire to you know what I'm saying, to do that joint. So that's I'll say Ryan Coogler or Jordan Peele as a horror. That would be fire.
That idea. Definitely like that idea. So, quick shout out to Solo in the building, Don in the building. He added again with the whole Falcons winning the Super Bowl. Uh, Shout out to both of y'all for tapping. Hit them likes, hit them 100s, and chat and continue to stay, man. We appreciate tapping in. Uh, I like that. I love that idea. I thought the same thing earlier. So for me, my Hollywood need to ask us for this episode is, I want to see a court comedy that's surrounded by a day in criminal court, family court, because New York City, what most people realize, family court, criminal court, they're all like they're right in the same place. You go left, you go family court, you go right, you go in criminal court. So I would like to see a comedy based movie based on basically court comedy where you have judges, lawyers, people who are, criminals, people who are not really criminals, but they caught up in crime. And I think there's just so much funny behind that, especially when I think of like a movie like Life that's not supposed to be, but is one of the funniest movies, period, hands down. So I would love to see a movie based on that premise alone, where you have somebody like Eddie Murphy, you have somebody like Damon Wayans playing a judge, Eddie Griffin playing some sort of lawyer. There's a lady called Tanya Paris. Y'all probably know her best from They Clone Tyrone. Could play anything. I could put her at anything, and I know she's gonna cook. Lovey Smith, her and Lovey look just alike. I would love to have both of them in this movie because they both have comedic about them, and they're both beautiful. They know how to be, uh, what's the word I'm looking for? Like just having a balance in style of acting. Um, also, Avion Crockett, I want in this movie as something. As a newcomer that kills the internet, he's hilarious to me. Jack Funny. Jack Funny is he got some movies out on Tubi, but they are funny. I want him to be a part of this project, and I can't do this project without Drewski and Cat Williams to be a part of this. So I would love to have, like I said, a court comedy this cast, and I think it will cook heavily. So, and just a day in the life or what it's like on the background, like the judge is messing with, who the lawyers is messing with. You know, the judge coming to the courtroom with just beach shorts on, but nobody realized that he got beach shorts on under his robe. You know, or he got to go to the bathroom real bad, and he's just calling quick judgments because he got to go to the bathroom. And it's just too much comedy that allowed him to cook within that space. So I would love to see a movie based on a court comedy and that cast right there.
That I would want the writing to be like on point because you got so much material from it because it's like the comedic aspect can help you, I mean, rip the band-aid off a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So you could really go in on certain topics and how people get fucked when they go to court and shit like that, but make it comedic so they could take on the, you know what I'm saying? Take it in a little bit better because they're laughing at it and later on they're like, damn, that was kind of fucked up what they did to bro in that episode. You know what I'm saying? After you don't laugh 10 times after. You know what I'm saying? So I would love the writer to really like hone in on how the court system really is like on his shit, but use it in a comedic sense. And I think that will really bring the comedic talents of Drewski, Cat Williams, you know what I'm saying? Lovey Smith. And I think that will bring the talent out more because majority of these people, they may or they may not have been in the courtroom, but they know damn sure they know people who've been in court. You know what I'm saying? If haven't been in court, them motherfuckers know a motherfucker who's been in court. So it jokes all around, especially when you get the lawyer who your public defender and he just got his fit off the swap meet. Matter of fact, he got it from Jody behind the, you know what I'm saying? Behind the truck when you just pulled up. You know what I'm saying? So you already know you going to jail. So then you got the other lawyer with the OD, the pants cuff is just too wide, right? You already know you going to jail. You know what I'm saying? So it's just so much material that they can use. And I feel like this should elevate the writing of the best comedians that we got. So we want to see our best penmanship. We want to see our best material, and y'all can go at it. And this could be a whole anthology series because it don't have to really follow no format. You know what I'm saying? Because it's comedic jokes about the day in life, about uh judges, lawyers, prosecutors, the bailiff, and their life in the courtroom. So I think that would be fine.
And this particular project is just too many areas for them to cook. Or somebody, and it's too many positions outside of judge, court officers, uh, court reporters, public defendants. I mean, bounty hunters. The list just goes on and on. How much that people could cook in the space they would be able to be in. So I would love this. So so yeah, so that's my Hollywood need to ask us for this episode. A quick shout out to Patrick in the building. Appreciate you tapping. Shout out to Lewis in the building. Appreciate y'all tapping in. Hit them likes, hit them 100. As always, we appreciate must watch movie I just saw called Straw starring Taraji. This is crazy. Ah, ah, I'm not even gonna lie to you, Patrick. I'm kind of done with the Tyler Perry movies, bro. I've been kind of done. I haven't seen the last three Tyler Perry movies. I think the last movie I seen with Tyler Perry was Mia Copa. That was very hard for me to stick. down and watched that, and it was awful. It was awful. That movie was trash. So I haven't watched a Tyler Perry movie since then. I'm not even gonna lie. And the ones in between I didn't even watch, and the ones in between. But the last like really good Tyler Perry movie that I really enjoyed, probably A Family That Prays, was fire. And I was the Family That Prayed, and yeah, family. I'm gonna say A Family That, and I've seen Acrimony. Acrimony makes me so tight. That makes me so tired. That movie makes, and then it's crazy about watching Acrimony. Anytime you watch it with a woman, she's always gonna agree with Taraji's character. Like, yeah, but he did this all in the beginning. I'm like, yo, that's the beginning in college, yo. Chose to stay with him. Nah, she had the right to do what she did. And I'm like, but look at her results though. So it I've heard it's the number one movie, like most of Tyler Perry movies are, but I give that one a second. I don't know, Pat, man. I don't know if I could, bro. I don't know if I could do it. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not even gonna lie. You see, well, I don't even know. I'm asking it.
Promote you. All right, you cheated on your girl for the wrong reasons. She pulled. Then he don't make white black women and black men look good because it's like you could have wrote Shorty by stating her finding out that he cheated on her and then she just walk away. But no, you had to write her driving her truck, pickup truck to broke, trailer, run the trailer over, then your sternum hit the steering wheel. Like what? Come on, dog. Like stop, son. And then after that, 20 years of struggling. Like come on, son. Like, what the fuck? Like, who writing this, man? Like, come on, bro. You
Scandal.
can't have no kids, man. Like, but but what kept it there was the sex was good. What? Not love, not compassion, not none of these things. Cause he could make her squirt. Like, who? Like, nah, I'm good. They knocking the boots. So I didn't want to get off on the tangent, but that's the only Tyler Perry movie I've seen and watched till the beginning to the end, and it still made me want to punch the screen, punch somebody. I was really punch air like I was Trey. You know what I'm saying? Just I don't even know why they keep fucking with me, man. That's why I was like in the movie.
That most of that movie, Acrimony, was the end. Like again, I was watching it with somebody, and the end, she was like, "Yeah, she had to be right." I'm saying, "Whoa, whoa, 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 whoa! This man then came to your job, clean as a whistle, apologized for everything, brought you flowers. Oh, oh, oh! Not to mention, thank you for believing it. And because of that, yo, here's a check for 10 mil, 10 mil. Oh, oh, oh! Before I go, that house that's your mom's house? I bought it again, and you own it straight out again." Again, I apologize. I will always love you. She goes off on a tangent, want to go get, Victoria's Secrets, went to wash that cat, done dumped her boyfriends, or pull up to the condo that he always imagined, like, yeah, baby, I see it now. Like, whoa, 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 whoa.
who writes this? And then your top cop, Taraji P. Henson, you know what I'm saying? Always first in line. Sir, yes, sir. Oh, I see why Tyler Perry pays you better. You know what I'm saying? You first in line to play these roles. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, I'm good. My fault, Pat. We ain't mean to go on a tangent like that, but I'm pretty sure you liked it. This is just my opinion. You know what I'm saying? This my opinion.
Want you to feel attacked, bro. This is just our opinion of Tyler Perry. So that if you like it, cool. It ain't no diss to you at all. It's just for me, Tyler Perry's characters is like gone too far. You know what I mean? Like so, you guys are hilarious. We appreciate like for real, like for real, for real. We don't want you to feel like any type of us, in our opinion.
Feel better? Nah, don't go watch 8mm.
Stupid, stupid, stupid. He said, "Go watch it." Stupid. All right, y'all. We gotta move along. Move along. All right. We on to our next segment, our must see segment. Some of y'all favorites when we talk about movies. You want to start this one off?
I always got a theme for mine. You already know it's 160. You already know. I always got a theme every episode. This theme right now is I feel as though Hollywood over the years they've been giving us great blockbusters, but yet they try to slide in these movies under the radar and they put mad money behind these movies and they're an ass. So I call this my theme is dirty crack house movies, meaning these movies is so bad that even if you was in a dirty crack house, you may not even want to pop these movies in. So they're so bad. I still want you to watch them though, because you gotta watch them. You know what I'm saying? So the first one on the list is The Tooth Fairy. Came out in 2010. Stars Dwayne The Rock Johnson. Look at the studded cast of people, right? Julia Andrews, Destiny Whitlock, Ashley Judd. Love me some Ashley Judd. Stephanie Merchant, Chase Ellison, Nicholas Munoz, Ryan Sheckler, Maya Washington, and Brandon T. Jackson. And the movie title says it all. It's a movie about a tooth fairy, but the tooth fairy is Dwayne Johnson. Complete garbage, straight ass hat. But you got to go watch it. You know what I'm saying? Don't go to the crack house and watch it. You know what I'm saying? In the comfort of your own home. All right, next one on the list is The Game Plan. Even worse than the first one I just mentioned. Came out in 2007. Listen to the cast. Dwayne Johnson again. I'm sorry, I got two shots for your head, Dwayne Johnson. You know what I'm saying? These movies was terrible. Dwayne Johnson, Madison Pettis, Rosalind Sanchez, Kyra Sedgwick, Paige Turkle, Morris Chestnut, Jamal Puff, Hayes MacArthur, and Brian J. White. All right, so this movie is about this supposed elite football player. You know what I'm saying? He in the league, whatever. He doing his thing with his mans in them. Somehow he has to take care of these kids, and you gotta watch the rest of the movie and see what happens. Pure garbage, but you know what I'm saying? You gotta watch it. Again, don't go to the crack house, watch it in your own crib. You know what I'm saying? Last but not least, this one is not as bad, but I still got my gripe with it. It's Gulliver's Travels. Came out in 2010, stars Jack Black, Emily Blunt, Jason Segel, Billy Connolly, Amanda Peet, Catherine Tate, James Cordone, Ali Alexander, Chris O'Dowd, TJ Miller, Richard Lang. And this movie is about the fable about Gulliver's Travels, about this traveler who falls asleep and then he wakes up in a world where he's monstrously tall and the people in this world are supremely small. But it's a retelling and it's like they gave it a modern spin to it. I just don't like it because of the hellified innuendos in this movie, and they could have done a better job. But again, don't watch this movie in the crack house. Watch it in the comfort of your own home. You know what I'm saying? Be comfortable. So my movies for dirty crack house movies, which was I don't even know why Hollywood made these movies, is The Tooth Fairy, The Game Plan, and Gulliver's Travels. Leave the crack at home. Leave the crack somewhere else before you watch these movies. You know what I'm
saying? The crack is whack. I don't do crack. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't gonna hold you. The game plan was terrible. But one part was super funny is when the girl first knocked on the door, he was like, "Oh, you want an autograph?" And he hook up with the autograph or whatever. He closed the door. All right, have a good day. Go again. I know what it is. Here's a hundo. Here's some money. Like he was willing to give us some bread just to get rid of her. But that still was a trash movie. Anybody that's football, it's just not believable that The Rock is playing quarterback. But still go watch it. Still must watch, form your own opinion, y'all. That's why we watch these movies to have our own opinion. All right, y'all. My must see three movies. My first must see stars Asia D, Hannah Barlow, Amy D. Argenta, and Urine High. Is directed by Hannah Barlow as well, and since wow, this movie is called Sissy. Like I said, it came out in 2022. It's a must-see movie. It's an interesting take on mental health and mental awareness. The young lady uh, is popping on social. She runs into friends in a local store from her childhood, and you have to see the rest. Must see. Like I said, it's a must see. Catch this on Tubi. My second movie came out in 2020, directed by On. This movie stars Lily Chase Crawford, Simon Pegg, Connie Nielsen, and Ash Perimera. Per, I don't per, Pearl per, ooh, Perimera. That's the best I could do on that. It sounds like that hard last name. But the movie is called Inheritance. Fire movie. This is a fire movie about a young girl who inherits uh, orders from her father. Her brother inherits $20 million, and the rest of the family also inherits uh, a very substantial compensation. But her inheritance having to do with you watching the rest of the movie. I won't ruin it for y'all, so make sure y'all tap into Inherent Inheritance. Sorry. Third and must final see movie came out in 90, directed by Scott. This stars Kevin Costner, Madeline Stowe, Anthony Queen, Thomas Alon, and John Leguizamo. This movie is called Revenge. Fire must see movie about a former air pilot who decides to hang it up and go on home. Before he goes on home, he gets contracted by a cartel leader that needs a personal pilot. And you have to watch the rest of the movie. It is fire. Make sure y'all tap into my three must see movies. You can find all three of these: Sissy, Inheritance, and Revenge. Make sure you tap into those movies. Any of those movies stand out to you?
A trifecta I ain't heard of. So yeah,
Girl,
that once again, he did it. He did it again. Chat. It's three movies I ain't even heard of. So I'm gonna give it to my bro because I'm like I can't even pretend I heard of Inheritance. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna keep it a beam.
yeah, so make sure y'all tap it. Y'all gonna have a good time with these. Y'all gonna have a good time with these, y'all. All right, y'all. Moving on to our must hear segment. Y'all know me. I got a different vibration, whether it's old school or brand new, whether it's hip hop or new hip hop. I'm going to give y'all something that's feel good, whether it's great vibrations. It's always on great vibrations. Tonight, I'm going old school R&B. Shout out to Keith Washington. You know what I'm saying? Keith Washington ain't nothing but a good looking rich brother. Like, who is he anyway? You know what I'm saying? But shout out to Keith Washington. He got three. Must have songs on your playlist. Must have songs on your Number one, Kissing You. Number two, Candlelight in You. Number three, Believe That. Make sure y'all put those on y'all playlist again. Number one, Kissing You. Number two, Candlelight in You. Number three, Believe That. Fire must have songs on your playlist by Keith Washington. And for those who didn't understand the reference of Martin, he's he was Gina's old school boyfriend, and Martin was caught up in his feelings, ready to crash out all at the party. You know what I'm saying? Like Keith ain't nobody a good looking rich brother that know how to sing. So what? Like he was talk that's a woman talk. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Keith Washington. He got some fire music that must listen. Uh, Moving on to our next must read book. You have a book for us?
Tap in if you're want to research more about indigenous and aboriginal tribes of the Americas. A good book to do a further deep dive is The Brief History of the Caribbean from the Arawak and the Carib to the Present by Jan Riganovsky. Again, the name of the book is A Brief History of the Caribbean from the Arawak and Carib to the Present by Jan Riganovsky. Again, very good author, has numerous and numerous of research and source material, so we can further go into deep dive in that subject matter.
Legend in the game. Super duper author. Um, Make sure y'all check the book. My must read for this episode is Feeling Good. The new mood. It's a great book about learning how to just be in spirits. We have a lot of people who are really in depression mode, and they're in depression mode, just living their everyday life. People don't value everything that they like. They only see the downside. So this book is a great read on how to deal with moods. So make sure y'all tap into this book again. It's called Feeling the New Mood by David D. Burns. So make sure y'all tap into that book. You have cologne for us? Tap in. Make sure y'all tap in. The whole goal is great. Smell good. That woman under the tuck. Go have yourself a good consent time. So make sure y'all go get that thing. All right, y'all. Y'all already know what time it is. Time to wrap. This segment is brought to you by What Apps. Where you can find us movies, shows, documentary, and content for your viewing pleasure. Again, that's What Apps. Button hyphenated snaps.com. Button hyphenated sign snaps.com. All right, y'all. First topic of the night. I want to correct the story that I had mentioned previously about Amari Stat coach. I did find that coach's name, and it was boggling me that I didn't have it prepared for the last particular show. What I said, I spoke on. Well, Amari Stoudemire has spoke on the 7 p.m. podcast. Carmelo Anthony that he had a coach in high school that looking to transfer schools. Coach had literally told him if you transfer schools, basically gonna make sure you don't play for another school and your transcript. Mari still wanted to transfer and make good on his promise, and his name was Joe Hopkins. And the reason why I went so hard on people knowing his name is because coaches like he really used to be in play. He several of coaches that used the power over players. And coming up in the early 2000s era as an athlete, there was a whole line of athletes that was hold to power by their coach, by their being hold to not exercising the things that best for them and their family. So I wanted to shout out Joe Hopkins for being a trash coach and human in that situation. And I know for a fact that Amari Stoudemire is not the only player that he did that to. I wanted to go hard. Last again, his name is Joel Hopkins, who was coach, the high school coach hold Amari Stoudemire at the school to play for his benefit. That way he can somewhere. And instead of letting him transfer, letting him play elsewhere. So I wanted to make mention of that. Uh, anything you want to add to anything you want to add to it?
The skill set, but for some reason they ain't really rock well with the coach or something like that. And there was, you know what I'm saying, had a little tiff, and because of this tiff, now he can't go on playing to the next level. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's bugged out. So yeah.
What do you think about that? Kirk Smart, the head coach of the Georgia Bulldogs, he said that there are high schools who are 20K a month from schools to yet. What do you think about that?
Their high school football field in the 80s was an Olympic style stadium. And we talking about the 80s. Where do you think they got that money from? You know what I'm saying? It damn sure wasn't cocaine. It's from Nike and you know what I'm saying? Nike socks, Nike cleats, and Booby Miles running in them. So y'all been playing the good old boy game for a long time, raking in billions. Now all of a sudden the field hand get bread. Now it's a problem. But see, this is the problem with white supremacy because y'all put yourselves in their own box. Players could have been got paid a long time ago. But the problem is, if you pay the players, that means the black players aren't gonna get paid. So rather not pay the black players, nobody get paid. Same reason we don't have universal health insurance. If you really think about it, is every 4 years, every president brings that up that we as Americans should have universal health care. But the reason we don't get it is because black people will get it. And they don't want black people to get it. So if we don't get it, nobody get it. So I went on a tangent to say, to bring it back to this point, is he's pissed off because now the control aspect is not in the coaches no more, where we just was explaining with the whole thing with Amari Stoudemire. It was fine when, you know what I'm saying, y'all was it was fine when y'all had all the control, all the power. Talking about, oh, you get free room and board. That's just good enough for a college degree. But every Saturday we making millions of dollars though. They ain't coming to see Booby Moss. They ain't coming to see Dabu Sweeney. No. They coming to see the top tier recruit that you brought in from last season. It's just a plus that you there and yeah, you drumming up plays and da. That's cool. But if you drum up a play that's supposed to be for 5 yards and bro take it for 70, is it because you break that play or is it because the athlete went the extra mile because of his skill set and his God-given talent? Which one is it? Because you got to put the best players on the field, right? Last time I checked, the majority of them is quite melanated. But again, I don't want to go on this side, but the more melanated team, that don't mean that it's gonna be a top tier team, but you got a better chance of winning. Let's be 100. Y'all know this and we know this and they know this. So that's why when they saw the game elevating that was the way it was, that's why they came with restrictions. Oh, black players couldn't be quarterbacks. You got quick feet, you're gonna be a corner. Nigga, I want to play quarterback. This is where all these rules came from. Let's go to basketball. Oh, you can't dunk. What? Okay, fine. I'm gonna hit you with the alley-oop joint. I'm gonna hit you with the, you know what I'm saying? The hee-hee. You know what I'm saying? Over the head joint. Now what? These rules that they implemented was not rules or regulatory rules. They were just hating ass rules that they made it seem like policy and nobody went back and checked the books to see if they were valid or not. So now you got snitching ass coaches upset now. Man, ain't nobody in that team should follow you no more. So you just snitched. For what? Weren't you paying your players anyway?
College football now has somebody that manages the money, meaning that like that's their entire job. So they come in and manage the money of the roster. They don't coach. They don't do anything else but manage the money of the roster, meaning like players should get what and knowing their NIL value and trying to pay them accordingly for them to stay in school. So with this particular notion in head, now that we have that aspect of college football, so a successful championship coach, Kirby Smart, is probably when it comes to X's and O's, he's arguably top three coach college football easily because he knows the game well. He needs every year. He knows what type of play he's going to have to be successful. But it sheds light on what's going on at the high school ranks that we did not know. I did not know this prior to, but there's a double side portion. Why would you let us know? Because now it seems to me is that now the is no longer tipped in your favor. Before, for the last 20 years, the SEC has been the premier league because of Nick Saban. Nick Saban had the premier team. So anytime you have the premier team and you play that conference in the same conference of that team, then your team ultimately because you go against a premier team. Because if you're going against them every year, then you're going to get looked at by NFL scouts. So that helped propel the SEC. Now the Big Ten is coming back like wildfire. You had Michigan won the year prior to, you had Ohio State win this, and mainly because the NIL deals and the packages that those schools can offer. Now kids are not just running to the SEC; they going to the Big Ten, or to the Big 12 with Colorado, or they going to Texas Tech, or they going to places where they could really make their money and going to places where they're going to be seen. Colorado, you're going to be seen. Colorado probably has the only coach in college football that people come to the game to see him, even though he's not playing in the game. They just want to see Coach Prime and what type of talent he has on the field. And he's the foundation of that. All these other coaches are not the foundation. You can replace them with another coach, and people are still going to show up and show out at those schools, even though they're good coaches. So with this, I love the fact that the light is being shed on it. It takes me back to a movie that was about basketball, the movie Blue Chips. Where they shed the light on the the financial side of getting talent, and these friends of the program are used as tools to benefit the program. And it's all good long as the program is benefiting and long as the program is making that money. But when it comes to the dirt of the program, they blame it all on these boosters that we don't really know for real. So at the end of the day, I mean, I'm glad that this high school kid somewhere out there getting 20K a month. I'm really glad about that because you're helping out that particular kid's family. Um, is it a dirty game? No, it's just a part of doing business now. We're in a new era. We in a new era, and this is a part of it. So I'm not mad that he shed light on this, but there's a reason why, and that's because you're not on the upper end of that anymore. So it was also like a whackness to it too, because it sounded like sore loser type of vibes, and you just telling it to make it seem like it change. Like I'm saying this so we can change this. Like high school kids should be making. If their talent lends that, then they should. If you got 10 players going pro at 16 and 17, then they could sign Nike deals and all these other deals and get out of poverty. Then why can't these football players? So I'm all for it, and I'm glad that that is happening. Anything you want to add to that?
School building a library. When's the last time you heard of these top tier colleges putting money to build a new library? Right? I ain't hear that. But they always building a new stadium. So how you gonna complain about the money being generated when when you won't even open up your books to have a forensic accounting? Because I'm pretty sure if motherfuckers really start looking at the books, it's really an understatement. Because if you factor in all the money that the school makes from one game alone, from these players bringing these people into the seats, the fans into the stadium to watch the game, I would be highly surprised if every dollar was accounted for. Because we already had that situation in Jackson State when Coach Prime was there. We're like, wait, hold up, yo, I see all these people in the seats. Where's the ticket sales? You know what I'm saying? Oh, we ain't. You know what I'm saying? The money gone. So if it's happening at Jackson State, you don't think it's happening at Ohio State? You don't think it's happening at TSU? You don't think it's happening at Toledo? Like, come on, son. It's part of the game. This is why Casino's such a good movie because they are the mob is such an ill concept because they understand when you gamble and you deal with people and money and stealing and thieving, they already account for people to steal. It's already accounted for, right? So if you take that aspect, you got it's all about human nature. You put somebody in a position to watch all the money, and he has sole authority of watching all the money. Yeah, he could be a great person, have all the high morals you want. After a while, if you don't nobody watching you, you might dabble in a little taste of something. You might situate yourself to be in a position to get more money off somebody else. So if we're talking about the college kids, how much does a coach get off of each student? And he can only play 11 at a time. So the game is really being more so for the players, which it should be more even. And then on top of that, what's his salary? How much he get paid a year?
The highest paid coaches in the league. He's at least nah. It's probably about like 12, 13.
How can a school justify paying a college coach $12 million a year? What's the justification? I'm waiting. But you want to talk about high school kids getting 20 bands? Is you cool? Is you cool? They letting you know what I'm saying, be riding this out. $13 million to coach college? You worried about high school kids getting 20 bands? That's crazy.
Perspective together because there's going to be people in a rewatch that say, well, pay him that type of money because he won a championship and he's taking them to this success, and it has to do with the state.
Be a great coach all you want. You got the greatest schemes, all of that. But if the players can't run 4-2, it don't matter. If the play requires for the if the play requires for you to block 3 seconds and you need the technique and you recruiting kids, top tier kids that can do it.
Talking to directly to the people that's going to just try to justify the payment. Then when they watch it, they're going to be like, but they're going to try to. So I'm going to speak to them. So those people, they're going to say that, oh, he's going to, because he won a championship and because it's Georgia and the state of Georgia, they have right to pay their it's state. So some states required to pay help pay these people there, and they're going to say it's a competitive market because you got the NFL and the NBA. I mean, NFL and college football, and college football is very competitive financially to the NFL. They're going to try to say, well, that's qualifications on paying that, but even with you stating that, it's still no real qualification on that particular market because he's not the draw at the school. The kids are the draw at the school. So that's why that matters when they try to say that, because if as great as a coach as Kirby Smart is, he's not going to make that type of money at Toledo. He's not going to make that kind of money at a smaller tier school at the Colorado, who's more so the new uprise of college football in the sense of attention and not necessarily football acumen, but they're striving to become that. When you got a state like Colorado, they have to pay Dion $11 million a year because they don't want him to go to the NFL. They don't want to another school. He's a reason. He's a draw. Deion Sanders is going to get $11 million at Colorado. He's going to get $11 million at Georgia. He's going to get $11 million at Clemson because of his draw, impact of the community. Kirby Smart, great coach. He'll come in, affect your team, make it better. But people are not paying their money to see him. They come to see the new talent that he got. So that's why that dynamic is different. So for those who try to comment and say, "Well, that's the justification," it's no justification because he's not the draw. So that's the point that you was alluding to about draw and him not being the draw. Shout out to Washida in the building. I remember Washida. Shout out to Washida in the building. Peace and love, gentlemen. Appreciate you tapping. I remember you, Rashida. Was popping. Appreciate you tapping. Hit them likes, hit them likes, hit them 100s, hit them 100s. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next hot topic. Uh, it's official. We talked about it before that they think about doing it, but it's official in Florida. Starting July 1st, landlords could no longer ask for 3 times the rent as required. What do you think about that?
It just seems like a slap in the face now because again, like I mentioned before about the application fees. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just 35 to $75 of free money we just give away. That's never accounted for. You know what I'm saying? And then on top of that, that you never needed to do this. You never needed 3 months rent. Yeah. Like why? Nobody can explain to you why. Why was this tactic needed? It's just another way of getting money. Now it's not working because there ain't no money out here. Now you gotta get rid of it because it don't add up.
For a lot of people, when let's say somebody makes 60,000 a year, but the place is 2 grand a month. If somebody makes 60, they can pay 2,000 a month. But if you're saying paying 3 times the rent, you have to make. I believe the asking for that would be somewhere around 66 to 72,000 for the year, which clearly takes that makes 60 out the run when they pay the rent. So and you leave a whole market of people that's homeless that you could have been making your money, because what's the purpose of having a vacant a vacant place that people could pay rent on and you could be making money. And then not to mention, I think you're being nice about the fees. Not to mention, not just the application fee, the one time setup fee that you never see again. They say, yo, it's a one time setup fee that It's just one time. Like they just hit you. It's just a one time. So this little 250 right here in cash, 250 cash. We want plus the 75 to $125. Application fee. Oh, you got pets? Oh, so it's gonna be $25 per application for the pet. Oh, you got a dog and a cat. Oh, so that's $50. And then on top of that, you got kids. Oh, how old are they? Because at under a certain age, we still require for you to put your names on the lease because and that carries another $25 in the application fee. So all these fees plus three times the amount, and you gotta pay first month, deposit, and next month. You're like, yo, I need all this money on to get something for 2,000. I need 10 racks just to get it for 2,000 a month.
It back.
Facts.
Like, it's just so much fuckery with this game. Like they pull so many schemes, and these schemes are starting to bite them in the ass because not only is these other schemes, I just heard about the apartment complexes and on what's that area? Not Guy or Brewer, but it's in Queens. I can't remember the name, escapes me right now. But basically, in Baisley Projects, right? So the apartment complex in Baisley Projects for years, the NYCH Housing Authority has been overseeing these apartment complexes, and people been living there for God knows how long. These people been paying their rent, paying. So I don't know how the rent was. Let's just say that the water was included in the rent, right? Why they got a $17 million water bill that ain't never been paid, but niggas been paying their rent? Guess who got to pay that $17 million bill? Not the housing authority, the tenants. How does that work? Bro, I don't have no eviction notice on my record at all, meaning I've been paying you on time for the 3 years I've been living here, with the water included. Why the fuck my water bill so damn high with everybody else? This is what I'm saying. Like that, this is crazy. So shout out to Florida for that. But New York, y'all gotta get it together, man. Y'all gotta get it together. Like that's crazy.
New York is nasty work. Like, and mind you, you grew up in a nice home in New York. My homes was like it was home. You know what I'm saying? Brother had to make it home. It was alright. You know what I mean? It's nothing like what I have in Florida, and that's just basically because of the money per square feet that they allow in Florida opposed to now. And then the spaces, or it's wild dirty. It really feels like that's why I love the movie Coming to America, because when you first move in that joint, it did look like the dead body and the rats running through the floor. You got Charlie falling down the steps. Is really like that in New York City. But if you got your little money on and call back like Simi, you can get the hot tub in the crib. You know what I'm saying? You could spruce it up. You could get music equipment in the crib. It'll become fly. You know what I'm saying? Come fly clean. You know what I'm saying? You'll get a couple, rats in there that will run through. You know what I'm saying? Try to get a little bite to eat. But
That's where they gonna be at.
that's where they all be at. They chill because in New York City, it's something about that infrastructure where they don't like to get the cracks. You know what I'm saying? They want something on top of that, but don't fix the infrastructure by sealing the crack. And then that's where the rats keep coming back. I digress. But again, what you pay for here is like different on a whole other level. So at the end of the day, I'm happy for this. Uh, and I'm happy for this because there's a lot of people like even in Orlando, it's kind of weird. Like you could live somewhere really nice, and then there's homeless people like literally like down the block, which is wild in Orlando. So it's like it's just different. And like even when you go party, the parties be lit, the areas be lit. Got homeless people just chilling on the outside, just looking at. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, it's just I'm just glad that this rule has, they're going to go in effect July 1st. People are able to obtain quality apartment at a fair rate. So, and I think, and I think Florida is more expensive than what people think it is. Florida has gone up dramatically as far as mortgage, rent, and at least all types of stuff when it comes to housing. So it's not as it once was, but the quality of what you're paying for is completely different. Bigger, pause, and the infrastructure. is way better. So, but those who don't live in Florida don't move to Florida. You know what I'm saying? Go to Atlanta, it's cheaper. North Carolina's a little cheaper. Texas is cheaper. So, you
Same.
cool. You know what I mean? Moving on to our next hot topic. Uh I'm sorry, Mike Beasley and Lance, former NBA players, went one on one. It was top rated, one on one, heavily promoted. That these two ballers, if anybody know about Michael Beasley, had a weird stint in the NBA, but it's so weird. He is one of the reasons why I say that both NFL and NBA is not built off talent because the owners know that we have a meat market. Pause. And what I mean when I say that is that every year, just how like men say women turn 18, always going to be a woman to holla at. These owners like, yo, these dudes turn pro every year, and it's going to be every year that it's going to his value is going to skyrocket. So we don't care about no talent. We care about what looks good. And some people say, well, how can you say that when players that had rap sheets that's BS. That's BS, y'all. They took certain players that did that back in the 90s. Back in the 90s. And those players got in and got out and they didn't get the value of their money. You don't have many players from the year 2005 to 2025 that sketchy record and they still drafted them early. They will still have you if you have some sort of talent, but they won't draft you. So that way their limit could be low. They won't draft you because of that. Oh, why get this guy in the first round when he might be a troublemaker. So let's take him in the seventh round. That's free agent. Let's get him as a rookie free agent. So to me, it's not built off talent. They pick players for certain models. They want players to have a certain story. So it's not built off talent. Michael Beasley is one of the reasons why the NBA is not built off talent. He's still playing. Michael Beasley is a walking bucket easily. Lance Stevenson could still ball out, bro. Like so. This is one of the reasons why I say that the NBA and the NFL is not built off talent. It's built off the fact of market and value. Most players' talent don't go hand in hand with their market, especially somebody like Michael Beasley. So you got Michael Beasley and Lance Stevenson playing one on one. The game ended. Michael Beasley winning 30-21. Very physical game. Every great game. They both going back and forth. But Michael Beasley did outlast them, and he won 30-21. What do you think about that? Yeah,
Nah, son. That is next level athleticism. You gotta understand a one-on-one game to 30. It's just you and the other player. You're not passing the ball to somebody else and let him work while you catch your breath. You gotta rebound. You know what I'm saying? You gotta take it back up top of the key. You gotta post up. Sheesh. 30-21. Yo, shout out to them with the insane display of athleticism and still showcasing that the that endurance is still there. Whatever running regimen, whatever workout regimen them two boys is on, they need to bring that over to the Knicks. So over the summer, nobody touched no balls, pause. All y'all doing is running. Whatever they running, y'all running that shit. Because y'all need to be running forever. You know what I'm saying? Nobody touching no rock. That's crazy. 30-21 is insane because again, the amount of athleticism and energy you gotta exude to play the game all the way to the end and win. You know what I'm saying? Like, shout out to them.
Just let him cook, but just a team that like, yo, you're our guy, and we're gonna believe in you. We're gonna build in you, and just on the court and off the court. I just never feeling with Michael Beasley. And then Lance in itself, Lance is a little younger, but I remember like my year playing at Fort Hamilton, and our basketball team wasn't great. I don't want to blame nobody, but the way how our coach selected it, it's a whole nother story. But again, I went to Fort Hamilton. We played against Lincoln. My year, we played against Sebastian Telfair, um, the Lassane brother, my boy. I can't Terry, my brother, my boy Terry Lassane. His brother, I can't remember his first name, but he was nice. He also played with a kid named Albert King, who also was the same. So Lincoln was always stacked. And we thought that team was great. And they had another player, one of the best I've ever played against in high school, Elijah Clark, 6'7" guard, and was nice. And we played against that team. Years later, you had Lance coming along. I'm like, who's this young, hungry kid? And I'm seeing the games because this is the time where we had the one New York station that played schools from the city and Long Island. Like this guy with the bald head, I can't think of his name. Yeah, like a little local sport station. And Lance was killing freshman. He led Lincoln to the championship as a freshman. He's the only player that I can think of. I don't even think Sebastian did it 4 times. I think Lance led Lincoln to the championships 4 times, senior, and freshman, sophomore, junior, and senior. So Lance has always been a talent, been a great player. So to see these two and their personalities, you got Lance from Brooklyn, you got Michael Beasley from Maryland, and having that energy. I would love to have those guys all on the Brooklyn Nets. Their mentality, them still being able to get it, they bring that type of energy to Brooklyn. So I would love that, but to see them go one on one on this aspect and to be competitive, like it was like two bulls going at it. Loved it. Loved the feature and loved the fact that even though that they're competitive, they was talking their stuff to each other. But at the end of the day, it's the game and they're gonna be bros at the end of that. But during that time, it's we doing this, bro. So I the game was fire. I actually watched the game, um so that's what happened. So Michael Beasley won 30-21. All right, moving on to our next hot topic. Singer songwriter The Dream is accused of hate and essay battery by a former protege named Sinead Mangrove, aka uh, Shani Moreau. She accused the former singer songwriter of essay acts and and she says that the dream behavior, which is alleged, on. I'm sorry, went on for about a year after meeting him in 2015, still affects her and hinders her to make an attempt of having a career. What do you think about that?
Civil, like they going after some bread, right? Anyway, So my point is, y'all,
You can hear me?
yeah. So my point is, okay, so you're going after civilly, you want to get paid. Okay, fine. My thing is when it comes to the media aspect of it and y'all broadcasting it, why is it always cherry picking? Because I haven't heard nothing from the case that dealing with the Abercrombie Finch owner at all. You know what I'm saying? If we're broadcasting all these people doing this, that no matter if it's male, female, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Everybody should be getting blasted, right? So why is there always certain people, you know what I'm saying? That y'all talking about. So your point is like, if again, everybody should be getting called out. So if y'all calling this, you're calling out the dream. I'm calling out the owner of the Abercrombie and Finch, who by the way has bail, and Diddy ain't getting no bail, and he did worse shit than Diddy on record, and nobody ain't talking about it. But y'all, it's day 18 of the Diddy trial. You know what I'm saying? Do we even know when the trial date for the I gotta get his name, the owner, the used to be owner Abercrombie and Finch. You know what I'm saying? Do anybody know his court date? But we know about the dream, where there's something that happened in 2015. But this joint, his case is at least as early as 2022. But we don't hear nothing about it. So that's my take.
First and foremost, if these acts happen, I'm sorry that she went through this. Regardless of anything, a trauma is a trauma, and if this really happened to her, she deserves to, get whatever she wants and her just to her. And the dream deserves to face whatever charge that he deserves to face if he. Um, I think as a whole, we're so quick to jump on the victim side, instead of hearing the facts and the truth on both and weigh in on ourselves. But what we weigh on it as a public is not the same as court. Because the first thing I learned about court, and I told when I had my run with the law a long time ago, y'all, long time ago, right? I said I didn't, and my lawyer looked at me dead in my face and everything. She said it wasn't, it's not what's true, it's what you can prove. So in this particular case, I don't know if she would be able to prove that that he's you know cause of her traumas and why she can't get her career back and these things for her to get some sort of settlement. But this is something we will look at moving forward. The Abercrombie and Fitch former owner, we all know why he got the complexion for the protection, and he got more paper, and he has the right people in the right spots, making sure that his situation is not blown up. Like I was watching the new episode of Godfathers of Harlem, The Godfather of Harlem, and the ending of the episode shows exactly why the owner of Abercrombie and Fitch is not even thought about. And his acts was, like you said, recent, and they were egregious. And he's been out here in these streets, moving and grooving the way he has. So so we know that that's the reason why he hasn't. So it's just amazing that as a people, we know that this person has the complexion for the protection. He has some sort of power structure that keeps him safe in the eye of the law. So if the law knows this, how there's not a counteract to that, which is the bigger question. So moving forward, like I said, if the dream is guilty of this, he gotta pay the piper, and there's nothing to that. If he's not, then she should go on and figure it out, especially dealing with her trauma. If not do this, um, but I don't, and I don't want to blame her, but I always just I understand being shamed and not feeling like you want to relive it. But if you're choosing to bring it out, if you're making a decision to know, wouldn't it be more beneficial when that representation is not out? Wouldn't it be more beneficial to not only put this on record criminally, but now will also be able to get some civil justice as well while it's still fresh, instead of waiting past the time of limitation and just trying to get some sort of money compensation? Wouldn't that be more efficient if you're going to relive it anyway? If you're going to have to put it on record anyway? So that's just my process. If you're asking my opinion, do I think he did it? She put a name on there. She put a name on there. So if she put a name on there, I there's a possibility. There's a possibility. But these are all alleged acts, and I'm not going to say for sure because they're alleged. But there's a possibility in my eyes when, and this is my opinion that this is not a fact. It's a possibility because you put a name on it. I just think that if you're going to put this out, put it out where you could put somebody criminally behind bars, and you could save other people from going through that same fate, and you get sort of civil, you know, civil compensation on top of that. Anything else you want to add to that?
Um, that how you would want to go after this person civilly, but this whole time they've been out free, right? You don't go after them criminally because if it did happen to you, what's to say after it happened to you that this person didn't go on and do it to somebody else? So now that you're brave enough to come out and tell your side of the story and bring this person to justice, which would be the right thing to do, you're only going after it in a monetary gain. But then what about the criminal aspect? Because let's just say the person loses the civil case. They just have to pay you money and they go home. But what about the criminal act? If they physically did something wrong to you, they should be penalized for that criminally. But then if you just go after it civilly, they don't get the criminal aspect. So back to your point is why is that left on the table? What precedence does that say for the next person that come up on the table? The next person that got to deal with this. What bravery are they seeing that you're bestowing? Because you're only going after the bread. So it just it doesn't give this person great credibility. Like again, I wasn't there. You know what I'm saying? I just feel if somebody did something criminally, you should go after them criminally. You know what I'm saying? The criminally charge them to the fully extent of the law. That's what I feel as though they went out their way to do something to you. Now you go out the way to do it back to them in the lawful sense, like file, you know what I'm saying? File the necessary paperwork to do it lawfully. And the mere fact that it wasn't done, it just not again, it's a gray area on that aspect, but it just doesn't bode well. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact. I agree wholeheartedly. All right, so moving on to our next hot topic. College football 26 have been revealed, and they revealed quarterback DNA in the game. That each quarterback will have their own inks and things they do in the game that's their own. How they come to the line, how they call plays, how they throw the ball, their body movements, how they trot, the overall aspect. We're going to see the quarterback DNA in the game. What do you think about that?
It's not glitching, and it's an overall great game when you download it or when you get it. Like all these other little nuances is cool and all, as long as the whole game in itself works properly. Like if the having the ink and all this is cool, but if if my game freezes, does having those nuances make the game better? At that point, no. So as long as the game in itself as a whole works to its optimum efficiency, I'm all for all these other nuances. Right? That's great. And y'all bringing back high school. I mean, road to college using the high school edition part. So that's great. So I'm all for it.
To play the game, July is going to be here. It felt like last year. It felt like it took longer for it to come out. Maybe because now it's already out, and like, all right, I'm looking forward to playing 26, but I'm still cool with 25 right now. So, but I like the fact that they added this portion of the game is going to make the game feel a lot more real, especially when you're playing Dynasty and the game doesn't get boring. You just always looking, to something to make it as much as very real as possible. So I love this aspect of adding that. All right, moving on to our next hot topic. Washida, I don't want to be living my life foolish and stupid anymore because ain't no one help me in real life. You got to save yourself by knowing better for yourself. Just, I definitely get that. I definitely get that. Self preservation is uh is a necessity, but growth is also another necessity. Can't do all on your own or by yourself. No matter how hard you work, there's things that you can do on your own, but living life you can't do it on your own. And it's not just about the financial aspect of it, about the mental aspect, because you can see yourself having imagine a world that you got and have everything you ever wanted and have nobody to share it with. So that's also something you should think about as well. Even though I have a feeling that you're also talking about making sure that you're taking care of first and you add on to, your surroundings. I feel like you're saying that as well. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next hot topic. Cardi B has revealed that she pays 600,000 a year in babysitters or on babysitters and drivers. A personal driver is 10K a month for the kids, and her babysitters is another 3K a week. 45,000 for school tuition and $300 an hour piano lesson. What do you think about that?
It's just idiotic. A lot of those expenses you could easily nip it in the bud. Like, you know what I'm saying, get a family member. Where's your family? 10K a month to drive your kids around, like that's insane. $300 an hour for piano lessons, like come on, like this is just showcasing the expenditure of a woman is just chaotic. It's chaotic. It just doesn't make sense because you're paying for the kids. You think it's justified. $10,000 a month for driving your kids around where you could drive them. Where's your abuela at? Get her to drive the kids.
And also a nanny as well. So that's two.
You know what I'm saying? Can't the nanny babysit? And can't the nanny pick the kids up? I'm just saying. Well, what are they? Royalty? What are they part of the House of Windsor?
Fire, clean up the crib, pick up the kids, cook the foods. I seen her do it all and play with the kids. So much.
Head, you know what I'm saying? Fastball. Straight for the back of the dome.
Like I don't understand why your nanny is not doing all of those services, and I'm pretty sure um you got family members that you could put on the payroll to work. Not give them nothing. They have to earn it. Hey, you want a job? My kids love you. They trust you. Yo, pick them up from school, bring them home, make sure they do their homework, feed them, and make sure they don't fall off the top of the damn bunk bed. Not that hard, and that wouldn't require, in my opinion. I'm not going. I'm not even going to pocket watch on the 3K a week, but 3K a week. If they doing all of that, 3K a week is way more than necessary to doing those particular things. In my eyes, in my eyes, another 10K for personal driver. I mean, my goodness. I mean, I just again, it all goes into that nanny package, pause. So I that's what I would think. The 300 for piano lessons. I'm pretty sure that that's you pay for what you. But at the same time, that's still crazy. Like, what if there's an end goal to that? Then okay, I'm not the 300. $45 a hour sound about right to me. 300. Yeah, nah. You know what I'm saying? I'll hook you up with a 45 piece. You know what I'm saying? Go get you $45 an hour, piano teacher, go wild, go crazy, sit up in there for 3 hours, go crazy. You know what I'm saying? But 300 an hour, that's a quick hour. You know what I'm saying? So that's all I'm saying. So that's what she's saying that she's spending on, and the finance is coming up because of the divorce between her and Offset.
Spending should be severely looked at because you don't spend money properly. Like you don't spend money well. There ain't no way in hell I'm gonna give you half and then it's gone in 5 years. What's the point of getting half from the person if it's not meant to be a life extending type of thing where you could see like, oh, I'm getting 20 million. All right, so how I spend now, I could easily spend for the next 30 years. With that type of spending, you ain't gonna last that long.
See, 3K a week is if you have a 24-hour babysitter because she works, she goes on the road a lot, and you're not going to uproot the kids every time you go to work. Cool, I understand that, right? So you need people to spend the night, people that you trust that's going to be around your children, because both her and daddy hits the road a lot to get that money. So that's understandable if she's spending that on a 24-hour nanny opposed to somebody that's coming from, you know, not like, getting and get coming back in the afternoon type of thing. So, you know, that's how I feel about that. That's the only way that would even make sense if somebody could be there while I was with the kids. That's the only way. So that's the only thing that's even sounds remotely realistic. But the un- do this. You and Mrs. Doubtfire had the time to do comedy on the side and try to get a whole TV deal. So that's all I'm trying to say. You could find puppets, ultimate puppets, top tier. So, the spending is just out of control, and it doesn't surprise me when you hear going broke, not because they don't make enough money, is what they choose to spend it on. That's why people go broke when somebody make $30 million and you're like, damn, how they go broke? How do they not go broke? Because you don't realize they're spending on access almost 100 grand per month, based on whether they live in a house, they pay mortgage, they got a whole bunch of cars that they paying on. It's per month they got 4 or 5 cars. So how do they not go broke? And they're not always going to have the same type of access of income. So when I heard Antoine Walker lose 80 spend $80 million, when that happened at the time, I was like in my early 20s, and I was like, damn, how you lose 80 million? But when you get a little older, and start doing the forensic accounting on their bread, not to count their money, but if your access of what you're spending about 1 million per month just on your life and your activities outside of that, if you got 80 million, it's 12 months in a year. How long is that money supposed to last if you're spending 1 million per month? 80 months.
Cardi B, her background is not. She didn't come from finance. Let's be honest here. Like y'all act surprised, like she's going through money, like she had a finance in a forensic accounting degree. Like what are we talking about here? We would be surprised if she was getting all this money and saving. That would be that would be fucking breaking the internet. Not this. This is expected.
Money, you just have this belief that you're always going to make this certain amount of money. You never think that you're going to lose it. You just have that belief like, yo, I'm just going to bust a move and I could go make $5 million because I did it before. I made $5 million in a week, and so I could do it again, and I could do it again. When it don't happen, and them bills and start to pile up. See, And their mentality, some people mentality is for a good time, not a long time. Why chance it? With that type of money, you can set yourself up to the point where you don't even spend your cash. And that's what you was alluded to about financing. It's like, bitch, you have to spend your cash. She's gonna really need some people in her corner to help her reverse that spending. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next hot topic. Shout out to T in the building. Appreciate you tapping in. Hit them likes, hit them loves in the chat, y'all. Age, we appreciate the love. Uh, yeah, I don't know why, but that's childish. I need to see results. Okay. All right, moving on to our next hot topic. Jason McIntyre called out Deion Sanders for responding to the media for the criticism of Shador Sanders. Uh, Jason McIntyre basically said uh, that Deion Sanders should not be speaking. He should not be talking at this point in time. Just let your son be an NFL player and just basically let him get it out the mud. Uh, to that, what do you think about that?
I feel like this is more like clickbait. This is more like something to veer our attention towards this now. You know what I'm saying? Like just to distract us from what else is going on. Because at the end of the day, it's like, bro, like this is just y'all beating a dead horse now. You know what I'm saying? Like this storyline and this headline that y'all been running with Shador Sanders is it's not his third string quarterback or he giving attitude at the combine and now he's in the league and he you know what I'm saying he has to work for it. It's like it's beating a dead horse. You know what I'm saying? Like but I kind of get it because I feel something else is coming on the line. So you need more distraction. Who better distraction than top tier melanated niggas? You know what I'm saying? And we talking about Deion Sanders. You know what I'm saying? Easily top tier. As soon as you mention his name, is everybody focused like, what happened with Deion? You know what I'm saying? So it's an easy. I feel it's another another string that they pull in. Again, it's classless and it's baseless, but they everybody's part of the sandbox. It's part of the game that they play. Like, hey, we need this. We need you to ramp this headline up for whatever reason. I have no idea because at the end of the day, if we really look at it at the base of it, it holds no merit. It really has no baseline. And then for somebody to speak on his platform to do that, you know they allowed it. So I feel why I'm going more towards this is just viewed or a tactic to distract us for something else.
McIntyre sounds completely disingenuous. The fact that him as a man has the right to tell a cultured man how to deal with his son, a grown son at that. His grown son need him more now than ever. This is one of the most pivotal parts of Shador's life, and you're asking this man not to be a father, not to speak out on things that really happen from his purview. He has Deion Sanders have more insight into the NFL than you, Jason McIntyre. You need to sit down somewhere. I know a part of your job is to you know tell it like it is, but you're not telling it like it is because you're telling the man to just say, yeah, go be a pro and just figure it out. Which I'm pretty sure that Shador is doing, but Deion Sanders for his son, like many of us as cultured men, we navigate our children regardless of what age they are. At some age, at certain points, you got to let them test the water. And who are you to tell Deion Sanders that he hasn't been letting him test the waters? Who are you? These stories are not true based on what they were saying about Deion Sanders. So, and that's from Dion's purview based on how he raised his son, how he prepared his son for these moments. And you're going to tell this man not to speak on something that clearly happened because to make the establishment comfortable? Have you lost your rabbit ass mind? Who are you to tell this man to not speak up because it's hurting him? It already hurt him. It already hurt him. They already pulled the tactic to show him that, oh yeah, you need to be humbled. How you gonna humble a kid that's already a millionaire? All right, he don't make the 44 mil coming out. He makes 4 mil. He made that last year. Okay, instead of going first round, he went fifth. He's still gonna start. What did it really change outside of the money? Now he loses that 44 mil. Yes, he would never get that back, but he could get it on the next contract and he could get the next contract quick. So again, it's disingenuous when you're telling another man not to be a navigational system for his son. We come from a, a, a culture and a background where the stigma is that men that look like me, my brother, and Deion Sanders, that we're not there for our children. And you're telling them and him not to continue to be there for his son that needs him? Just because he's Deion Sanders, he's still not a man, he's still not a father? How dare you? You're a father yourself. So you mean to tell me when your children turn a certain age, you just gonna completely turn your back on them, especially when your children need you? Now, some kids, they might not want you to help them at all. They like, yo, mom, dad, yo, I really don't want your help. You're overbearing and I need to do my thing. I get that. But clearly, if his son needs him, who are you to tell him not to help him in any type of way? How do you know that it's not going to help him for him to set the record straight? Anytime you set the record straight, helps in general in life. So you want him to fit the narrative and be like everybody else, right? Guess what? He's not like everybody else. The spotlight has been on him his whole life, and we've seen him from the age of 8 years old, even younger than that, all the way till now. So stay in your lane. Let Deion Sanders be a father. Who are you to tell him not to be a father? Who are you to tell him not to navigate his son in the right direction so he can be successful? Who are you? Anything you'd like to add to that?
Manning like that. You know what I'm saying? I ain't never heard no commentators telling Archie Manning how to police their kids. You know what I'm saying? It's just the comfortability aspect where it's like they could just hit you with the good old boy, as the good old boy scenario. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like, oh, you gotta know your place. It's always that game. And it'd be the lowest of the lowest total pole type of nigga that never even played the game, but then can speak on it. How do you even have a platform to speak on something you never played? And yet we allow this. Have a debate with a nigga that never played the game. How can you do that? This is the illusion that I don't even fall into because how, from the initial setup, you shouldn't even be sitting at the seat. It should be nothing but veterans sitting there. Those who played the games, those who coached, that should be talking about the game, not a nigga who read books about it and sat in the sideline as a writer and wrote about the game. You never played. You writing it from the aspect of as a somebody who views the game. You never played the game. You don't know nothing about practice, two-a-days, camp. But yet and still you could get paid $20 million to talk about a game you never played. This is why I don't get into the sandbox, because it's foolishness. How can you play? How can you talk about something you never played and have gumption, gall, and whole foundation on to speak on something? And niggas backing you up like, yeah, oh yeah, that sounds good. Knowing damn well this nigga don't got no platform to speak on. You never played the game. How? How can you speak on something you never played? If somebody can explain that to me, then it'll make sense. If you never played the game, how can you speak on it and get paid to speak on it? Millions of dollars.
Hit you with the rebuttal well, Archie Manning, didn't come out and say it. He didn't come out and say it from the beginning. He used his power in the background, right? He did use that, but he still was able to use it. Now, did he use his power at the right time than Dion? Yeah, of course. But that ship has sailed already. Ship has sailed. So we're not even talking about him going in the fifth round, which is egregious. We're talking about the fact that you have an issue for Dion setting the record straight on why he went in the fifth round. How dare you, dude? How dare you? The truth is never tied. In the NFL, even though I love football, bro. But one thing about the NFL that irks me is that at times it appears very weak-minded when they say, "Well, why get a guy like this so he doesn't be a distraction?" Yo, if a guy is a one player is a distraction to your team, then he's not a pro team. The whole purpose of having a pro team is to have great players and to have all the attention. Have all the attention. All publicity is good publicity. What are we talking about? And then we talk about that the NFL is about their money. No, it ain't. It's about a story. Because every year, guess what? Like I said, it's a meat market. The new hotness is coming out every year. There's a player right now in college that we've never heard of right now. When the upcoming college season come around, he's going to destroy it. And people are like, yo, where this kid come from? And all of a sudden, he went from being not even thought of to being first round, first pick. It happens every year. There's a kid right now that's running 100 suicides right now to get ready for his moment. So when he plays in the game, he can run up and down the field with no fear. We seen it last year with Jeremiah Smith. He came out of nowhere, one of the best receiver in college football. We see the kid Williams, Ryan Williams at Alabama, true freshmen, true freshmen. There's a kid every year. NFL's a meat market. They said, well, it's about talent. It's not about talent. It's about the story. They'll give a guy a chance that has talent. Shador Sanders has talent. That's why he went in the fifth round. But they deemed him a distraction. Is why he went in the first round. His dad. If we start losing, the first thing the fans is going to ask for is Dion. Why is Dion not the coach? Because he has success with his son coaching. Why is he not the coach? So now they not drafting him because of the stock. But I don't want to go off on a tangent because again, these are narratives that's done and over with. But to say that, oh, he's a distraction, oh, it's tired and lazy. What's the purpose of being an NFL team if you're not going to have people that enlist attention for your team, especially when they're great players? Don't make any sense. Shout out to the chat. The chat going in, man. Shout out to T. Shout out to Washida. Shout out to King. Shout out to Ebony. Appreciate y'all tapping in. Y'all going crazy in the chat. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next hot topic. The NFL Finals. OKC ties it up with the Indiana Pacers. They won 123 to 107. Shea Gildas, outstanding game. They tied it up one apiece. What do you think about that?
Finals. Good basketball.
Amazing the way that ended. I thought the second game was going to end the same way, but Indiana got to stop with the damn turnovers. If they could stop with the turnovers, they wouldn't be down by 20 points. They may be down by like 4 or 5, and then if they down 4 or 5 going into the fourth quarter, that's scary playing the Indiana Pacers. They just got to stop on them turnovers. If they stop their turnovers, they could really come away with this together. But OKC winning tonight made it a series. They made it a series. So shout out to OKC for winning tonight. Time to go East. And this is again going to be a great series moving forward. Looking forward to game 3. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next hot topic. Aaron Rodgers signed with Pittsburgh Steelers. What do you think about that?
like I said, man, his brother got to know his place. You know what I'm saying?
I don't see the Pittsburgh Steelers becoming a Super Bowl contender. They'll probably be what they always been, first round playoff. I think they want. I don't even know if they'll go to the playoffs. To be honest with you, this version of Aaron Rodgers, he's older. He still has the arm. But he's older. The instincts is not the same. Them hits hurt more, and it's just. I don't think Steelers well with Aaron Rodgers compete for a championship because when you sign somebody like Rodgers and you're the Steelers organization who's always signing a player of this caliber, you're saying that you're going to make a Super Bowl run. If you're not doing it, why? It doesn't make sense. But hey, this is what the reason why the seasons are played, and I think they won't do well in this. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next hot topic. Young Berg, aka Hitman, tells the story of P. Diddy telling him, and I quote, "Pause." I'm saying pause. Come here, you little pretty mother effer. Uh, he said also says, um, he make MFers forget about this and that and imagine if I put my arms around your little fine ass paw. And this was on the Ray J stream. What do you think about that?
Female, or this was a interaction between two people or something?
That well, aka Hitmaker, that Diddy came up to him and said, "Come here, you little pretty mother." He also goes on to say that he makes MFers forget about this and that, and imagine if I put my arms around your little fine ass. Diddy saying to Maker or
Like, I don't believe it. I just feel like Young Berg, like nobody talking about Young Berg hit maker. Like nobody talking about you. So you got to make yourself relevant and create a story that Diddy said this and Diddy said that. Like nobody could fact check it. Nobody around here, like, you know what I'm saying? Saying this story was here. I was there when it happened. We was at this party and such and such. It was crazy. I seen the look in Diddy eyes. I thought he was really gonna choke him out. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just corny. Like, I don't believe him, but he been corny since that episode where he was on Love and Hip Hop Los Angeles, LA. He been corny. You know what I'm saying? Like, get out of here. Nigga corny. I'm not even, I don't believe it.
this point in time is basically like low hanging fruit. I mean, he's the easy target. So where was these stories when he was out?
You shot away in the corner and found a way to cope with it until you had the time to speak on lo and behold, whose podcast? The same Ray J who went on High 97 talking about booty goons. That's the same Ray J. Come on, man. All these people is like, I don't jack with none of these fugazi ass cats. None of these cats is real people. So I'm like, get out of here. Like, niggas forgot because it happened in New York. He called up Hot 97. This had to be 2001, 2002. Called up Hot 97. We had beef with Fabulous talking about if he ever come to LA, he gonna send the booty goons. And around 2001, if I'm stand corrected, this was the heyday of Diddy parties. This is top right around the upper echelons of Diddy parties. You know what I'm saying? This is when he was probably implementing the all white parties in what's the thing in Long Island, all the way out there, the Hamptons. You know what I'm saying? We've been hearing about all white parties when I was in high school. Well, how we know about Diddy parties in high school? Who went to the Diddy party and told niggas about the high school? You know what I'm saying? But it was just so many people talking about it that we even heard about it in high school. So this story that Young Berg is giving is caps, man. It's just everybody all of a sudden got these stories, but nobody had none of these stories 10 years ago. So it would make more sense if you tell it now, like, yo, yeah, I remember you talked about that 10 years ago. Damn, that's right. But we don't have none of these stories. All of a sudden, all these miraculous stories just popping up. So Diddy had y'all niggas shook, just like Calvin did. Fuck out of here, son.
So Ray J, to me, is easily one of the funniest people on this planet. Like he don't even try to be funny, but he's gold in my eyes. Um, but him telling this story again, like I said, I just think it's like in fruit. It's an easy talk. He's telling the story where he safe, where because remember the work and this happened at Diddy's house. Went to Diddy's house looking for mentorship because he was trying to uh he was caught between two deals that he was trying to figure out how he was from one deal and kind of leverage the other company to make sure. I'm just telling you what he said. Had his situation where he leveraged Bad Boy Entertainment with one company and was able to get his money with another between I think Clive Davis and Jimmy Iovine.
Here and create another one. That's not upward movement. That's just lateral movement. That's not upward mobility. You know what I'm saying? Even with that, it's another chicken sandwich. And then you meet Buddy at his crib. Where's the office? Oh, I forgot. He could do it at the office or the crib because it's Diddy. You know what I'm saying? It don't matter. He won't get you anywhere.
Particular was in the bathroom. They said that Diddy's bathroom is not the normal size bathroom. It's as big as some people's like living room. So he had a big bathroom. Said that he felt weird that it was in the bathroom, but nonetheless they still had to meet in the bathroom. And then Diddy went on to say he was telling Diddy about the situation, and then he went on to say that Diddy looked at him. He said, "You know what? You talk too much," and then just walked away. That's how supposedly that ended.
Son, you know what I'm saying? They putting Diddy up on a pedestal. You know what I'm saying?
Ancestors not a game. That is a fact. The ancestors not a game. That's a fact. That's a fact. Shout out to what she do. All right, y'all. Moving on. Moving on to our next segment. This segment is brought to you by Bravo Section. Make sure you go to bigbravosection.com and bigbravosection.com. If you're located in the Miami area, book that session with one of the best photographers in the world. If not, you can still book that session. They'll come out and session, but it starts at bigbravosection.com. You have any words for us from the Black Swan Dictionary?
But there's boundaries in here. You know what I'm saying? You just can't be out here willy-nilly. My bro sent me something on Instagram where two girls got, you know what I'm saying, was doing something that wasn't supposed to do at the pool and got arrested for doing debaucherous acts. So that's what they got caught for, debauchery. So next one on the list is called journeyman. So journeyman is a craftsman who progresses through an art apprenticeship and is qualified in this trade. So a journeyman could be an electrician, plumber, carpenter. These are journeymans. And once you get your certification, you can journey about the 50 states. Oh shoot. The uh oh, we still alive. Damn, my boy just dropped. All right, so we're gonna be continuing on with the journeyman trade. So it's an apprenticeship and is qualified in this trade. So next one is abandonment. So abandonment is a surrender, relinquishment, disclaimer or cession of property or of rights, the tail, claim, and possession with the intention of not reclaiming it. So when you leave something, you abandon it. That is the surrender, relinquishment, and never coming back to claim it. So you abandon your property, your car, your possessions. So last word on the list is called bind. I rolled back. So we still on the last law. I'm on my last word. So the last word is bind. So bind is to obligate, to bring, or to place under definite duties or legal obligations, particularly by a bond or a covenant, to affect one in a constraining or compulsory manner with a contract or a judgment, so long as a contract and an adjudication or legal relations remains in force and true and continues to impose duties or obligation, it is said to be binding. A man is bound by his contract or promise by a judgment or decree against him, by his bond or covenant, by his estoppel, etc. So one of the people on the chat was talking about our ancestors and stuff like that. So this is very spiritual in the legal sense if you take the word bind, because it's something that that you pledge and you agree to. So it's an agreement that you cannot get out of until you fulfill your end of the deal. So with this type of bond, I feel like I'm gonna go on a tangent here, but I feel a lot of people are caught in compromising situations when they put certain stipulations in the contracts. So they bind you to these stipulations in the contract, in the fine print, if you don't read it properly. So after signing the contract, now you must attend the freak offs every year or give me 17 albums or something. I'm just being facetious with my example, but this is what I'm saying about bond. This is very powerful with words and the legal definitions of words, because they could put you in a situation where if you didn't read the contract properly, it's not nobody's fault that you didn't read it. It's your fault you didn't read it. And then you sign it. Now you're bound to do whatever the contract stipulates. All right. So my words for this week were debauchery, journeyman, abandonment, and bond. So if you do have legal words or any words that you want to find out the legal definition word is, definitely send it in the chat and I'll look it up for next episode.
So send some fire words in the chat. Quick shout out to Rashida again. Going back a little bit, that's why when they see Deion Sanders to do an abundant with his son, abandon his son when it comes to navigating the life and field. Facts. That part, yup. Nah, definitely agree with that. Again, fire words, y'all. Fire words. Shout out to Double in the building. Appreciate you tapping in. Ludacris. Yeah, bro. I don't look like Ludacris. Old Ludacris. Yeah, nah, stop it. If you're gonna crack funny joke, I love a good funny joke, but don't be trash at your joke. You know what I'm saying? I love a good joke, even when it's about myself, but the joke is trash. To say I look like Ludacris, bruh, Luda could never. And I don't even want to sound no type of way, bruh. Old? Yeah, bruh. The whole purpose is to get older, my guy. Okay? So call me old all you want. I enjoy my life. But shout out to you. Crack funny jokes. Joke was trash. Rowan Jack in the building, baby. Rowan Jack in the building. Appreciate you tapping in. As always, one of our badge holders, one of our day ones. Appreciate you tapping in, Rowan Jack, man. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next segment, our final segment of the show. I'm sorry. Uh, Next segment is Keep the Lie Live segment. The Lie Live. So my Keep the Lie Live for this episode is what we get is not always for us. What I get is not always for me. What you always get is not always for you. And what that means is sometimes through our hard work, we gain an abundance. Sometimes we get paid not for how we work and what we should get paid, but after a while, when the finances really catch up, we get an overabundance of it. So sometimes what we get is not always just for us. And the reason why I bring that up because I've seen in several movies, even I've seen in other people's lives, even in my life, that it's okay to give. And some of the things that I receive is not always just for me. Some of the things I've seen other people receive, as far as compensation, as far as just things in life, it's not just for them. So, for an example, if you receive $20 million at some point in time, guess what? You'll never spend that type of money if you don't have that type of lifestyle, right? And you don't have to have that type of lifestyle. No shot sent to Cardi B, but we talked about Cardi B earlier for having her very expensive lifestyle. I mean, you live how you want to live, but at the end of the day, is it feasible? So some of the things that we earn is not always for us. And I even came up with this type of mindset as well when I think of things like for the culture in itself. When I think about reparations, you have people in the culture that is against reparations as well, and like, man, I'd rather work for mine. But guess what? Just because you didn't necessarily work for that particular reparation doesn't mean it should not be yours. So that cleared my point as far as thinking just because we get it doesn't mean it's always for us. Just because when we do get it doesn't mean that it has to be from us, right? Because our ancestors, we brought up ancestors prior before. That's like a running thread of the show tonight. Our ancestors worked for it. So just because our ancestors work for it, that doesn't mean that we shouldn't get it. Same thing with the present as of right now, whether it's you or I or they or us. Sometimes you get overcompensated, and when you get overcompensated you get yours and you share the blessings, and so on and so forth. So that's my keep the lie alive for this episode. Our super chats consider tips, no tax or tips. Hell no, it's on tax. Everything is tax, baby. Everything is tax, bro. Well, appreciate you, Roll with Jack, man. Appreciate that. Anything you wanted to add to that? Any thoughts to what I said?
Foundation and the actual principle and the beginnings of it. These people don't even have the authority to fucking tell you what to do on your own land, because these niggas, they ain't even supposed to even be here. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of this stuff is dealt with fear, and they use a lot of media to create fear, and they use the fear taxes to keep us at a certain date. And then when they use the fear, they be like, oh, when the fear whip is on you, then that's when they start using, oh, you're in the N word. Oh, you're black, you're African American, you're Negro, you're colored, you're all these things except what you actually supposed to be, which is what's going to give you the status quo anyway. Now, I'm not saying that these people still ain't going to come for you when it happens, but at least you'll have the foundational principle to stand on your own, buck somebody down who come to your crib, and not have to worry about nothing. The sheriff's just going to come collect the body because you in your proper stance. But they never taught us the proper stance. They never taught us the proper position we supposed to be in, because if we in our proper position, we don't need them. So their whole purpose and their whole job is to make sure that they stay in their position by keeping us ignorant of our position. This is why Cardi B got to get a nanny. This is why she got to pay somebody to drive her kids to school when she could do all these things herself. You don't need these other people, but they make you think you need these things in your own home, in your own land. So the chicken sandwich is really good. You know what I'm saying? The seasoning on the Popeyes is exquisite, because y'all still constantly go for the chicken sandwich. You know what I'm saying? So eventually, gonna get a wake-up call eventually. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be forced, because at this stage in the game, the way they playing is like they don't care no more. They're just gonna put it in your face. They just don't care, because it used to be, they used to be fearful because they thought that we really knew what was going on. But once they gave you all these things, they realized, yo, y'all have no idea. So we're gonna keep doing the Met Gala. We're gonna keep throwing these parties. We're gonna give you Diddy over here, but we still got our peddlers over here. And we're gonna keep playing the game because y'all still gonna be standing in line to jump in the sandbox. So that's my keep the lie portion.
Tuning in each and every Thursday, every Sunday at 10:30. Couldn't do this without y'all. Y'all been amazing, a part of our journey from day one. And continue to like, subscribe, and share. And share. And share. Got over 450 rewatch videos of this podcast on this channel right now. So go check them out. Leave some dope comments, some funny comments. Be funny. Be funny, y'all. Don't be tired, y'all. Be funny. Most of our people in our chat, some funny people, some that come in the mean in between time. Bring the funny, dog. That's all we ask is bring it. Right. Again, I want to shout out to the sponsors of the show, Bravo Section, Button Snaps, and OUV Records. If you're interested in becoming one of the sponsors of the show, hit me up on Instagram at Ashley Lovechild, or you can hit my bro on his Instagram at, again, if you're serious about becoming one of the sponsors of the show. Also, my new album is out. For those who don't know, yes, I'm an artist, hip hop artist. I got a new EP out called Winners Loyalty right now. Continue to run it up, show love, show that support. 6 songs is fire. True hip hoppers, go tap in, go check it out. And again, continue to support. I really would appreciate it. My bro got his website.
On the way. Stay with me, y'all. Merch is on the way.
Love. Um, Also, again, we're on the road to 20,000 subscribers. We're a little over 11,000 subs. So again, continue to like, subscribe, share, leave comments, stay engaged. There's memberships as well. Tap into the membership portion of the page. Different memberships, different access. And again, we want to thank the presenting sponsor of this podcast, which is Button Snaps. You can find us in movies, shows, documentary, and original content. We have viewing pleasure of $4.99. Again, that's Button Snaps. Button hyphenated sign snaps.com. That's button hyphenated sign snaps.com. I feel like I'm missing one last thing. But again, shout out to the chat, man. Y'all been so amazing, so dope, engaging, leaving fire comments. In my sponsor, gotta do what I gotta. What if I'm a sponsor, do y'all gotta do what I say? No, we will promote your product, but it ain't no, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, we gonna show your product love and make sure that it gets the awareness that it deserves, and we're gonna run it up. But yeah, you won't be able to control mm, what I say or what my bro say. Okay, shout out, shout yeah, shout out to Rashida though, but Rashida popping. Uh, yeah, so shout out to all of y'all that tapped in. It's too many to name every single person, but we appreciate y'all as always. And again, we continue to work on making sure that the streaming is looking properly. We still having small issues with YouTube, and we're working it out. We're working out. So again, we continue to thank you for tapping in and tuning and bearing with us because we really do try to give y'all the best product around. So again, thank y'all. We're gonna see y'all. Also tap into my TikTok because I'm gonna be doing TikTok shows live on stream every Tuesday and live on Switch, Twitch. I said Switch, Twitch itself every Friday. So stay in tune for that as well. Y'all been amazing as always. Again, we'll see y'all this Thursday for episode 167. And y'all already know, man, it's love. We out of here. We see y'all this Thursday, 30. We out.